Welcome again to Andrew White. Andrew, this program is called Reflections. And boy, have we got some reflections after last night. And well, you tell me what you make of it.
Well, this is extremely incredible that this new party has just come in and wiped out everybody. And from a faith point of view, it particularly interests me that these other parties were becoming so anti-Christian and so anti-religious. And this man turns up called Nigel Farage. And one of the things he says, we want to make England Christian again. That's quite an incredible thing to say. He said it was meant to be as fundamental to our understanding. And I'm just looking at the results now, but he's won about, easy, well over 50% of all the vote.
Yeah, and considering where he started from a very little time ago, it is quite exceptional. But
He started from nothing.
these have been called the half-term elections, similar to what we have in the United States, of course. But you mentioned the faith, the Christian point of view here. There's no problem with that in the States. They clearly set out where they stand. Generally, the Republicans have Christians voting for them, and so do the
And
Democrats.
it's interesting that in America, there's supposed to be a separation between church and state, and yet they're more connected than here. But in the UK, where we're supposed to be a Christian country, the king is the head of the Church of England. But we're now seeing a total turnaround. And I think, in a way, God has done this as a sign of his grace on the nation. I have always been an avid Tory. I was a member of Wandsworth Council, an elected member during the days when Ed Lister was there and we were the strongest Conservative council in the country with no poll tax. And I was the vicar for Balham and the councillor for Balham. And our major club, not social club for old people, was called the Gateway Club because Balham was the gateway to the south. And now, today, we're seeing all of these areas being pulled back by reform. And I just pray that this is God showing mercy on our nation. And we all know that there are problems with every party. And there are problems with Nigel Farage, and he's not perfect. And there are lots of things I don't like about him. But I respect him for what he has said about faith and our nation. And I just pray that God will pull him up by the ankles and saying, now you get yourself sorted out. You can sort out the nation, which is a good start. But at the end of the day, all of us need to be sorted out personally.
Yes, it's fascinating because we do cover particularly in depth both the United Kingdom and the United States politically. Although we're in Spain at the moment, but it's getting very interesting here as well, Andrew, because we've got a very extreme left-wing government here. A lot of people are getting fed up, like in Britain. Nothing gets done and nothing changes. And there is an organization called Ath to Oyer. And this basically has family and Christian roots, and they are a pressure group. In fact, they formed Citizen Go that a lot of people may know about, because Citizen Go are a little like a Christian Concern in England that take on the defense of Christians in all sorts of
Yeah.
realms. And they are now in the ascendancy, which is good. So again, the Christian ethos, the Christian basis of our history is coming through even in Spain.
Well, as you say, if it can come through there, it can come through anywhere. That gives us hope. And I really look hopefully to see what's going to happen very soon. Now, from the point of view of my Jewish point of view, it's very interesting because we are in the period of the counting of the Omer. The counting of the Omer is counting of the days between Passover and Shavuot, which is Pentecost. So counting the days from Lent, no, from Easter until Pentecost. And the last few days, as we count the Omer, it's preparing for the Holy Spirit to come. And today we're on day 38 of the Omer. There's only 50 days and you're there. And I hope and pray that when we come to the Omer being fulfilled in Shavuot, in Pentecost, we may really see the power of the Holy Spirit coming and challenging people personally and individually.
Yes, we are not sort of speaking in any party political sense here, because there are Christians in every party.
Exactly.
But if one looks at the basis, I've just been onto a Caritas site before we have our chat now, which is the Roman Catholic charity, the major one in Spain. And it's got a big picture of an old and respected gentleman. And he's saying, translated, I used to be very left, but now I'm opening my eyes, listening with my ears, and coming to a different conclusion. And that's on a Roman Catholic site.
So that actually gives me immense hope that there is a sense that people are realizing that we all need the spirit of truth.
That's it. We've got to realize where the truth is. As Christians, we know where the truth is. It's a bit easier for us, but it's conveying the truth to most people who are yet not Christians and asking them maybe to vote based on our history and our Christian history.
Exactly.
There are more seats to be won in this local election. It looks as though Nigel and co will do very well. Doesn't necessarily mean at the next general election, when ever that is, it will be repeated. But it will, I hope, encourage people to pray for the right person to be our leader. There are many times in history, even thousands of years ago, Andrew, when, oh, well, he's not a Christian, but he was still used by God.
And that comes back to the issue of the order of Cyrus being sent to the people of Babylon to send God's people back to the promised land. And we internationally need to go back to God's land, led by His Holy Spirit.
Indeed, thank you so much, Andrew. We'll see you at least when this is all over.
Wonder what will happen next week.
Well, the way it's going at the moment, it's like a merry-go-round. You can't get off it. Perhaps you don't want to.
Blessings, love, and peace. Shabbat Shalom.